fellas, you need to trust the process. Understand that everything will always make sense in the end. When you look back, you can understand why things happen, why they happen the way they happen, right? Like I was just talking about it today, that now as an adult, I can understand why my parents, when I was a kid, when you tell your parents as a kid, oh, I'm tired. And they say, tired of what? I'm sure you guys have experienced this. Tired of what, right? Because they're out there putting in the work. Meanwhile, you're at home, not doing anything, not paying the bills. So it's like, what are you tired of? But at the time, as a kid, it doesn't make sense. Now, as an adult, it completely makes sense. It's like, I'm out there working, you're over here at home getting taken care of, and you're talking about you're tired? I remember I would always say, like, oh, it's not a competition. But as a kid, you don't really have understanding, because you haven't really gone through it to understand why it happened. Because when you're in the middle, you might not understand why it's happening until you've gone through a couple times where you've been through things that didn't make sense and it made sense in the end. Then you will have the mindset of, okay, I see why this is happening to me exactly while you're in the middle of it, right? If you don't have this introspection to where you can study yourself, then you won't understand it until after. And some people don't even understand it until after. That's why some people don't mature. But if you can truly understand in the middle of it, then guess what? You won't be someone who will be feeling down and depressed, because not everything is how it's supposed to be in the moment, right? Because when I'm going through something, I'm understanding why it's happening to me. I understand it now. When I went through a breakup, I understood, okay, I know why this is happening to me, right? Once it was all said and done, I understood that it was meant to happen to make me a better version of myself. When I went through all the drug addiction, afterwards, I understood that was to strengthen me, to build me, to be someone who can let go of something, who really had a hold on me, to be someone who can let that go and detach myself from relationships, from drugs, from anything that is causing me harm and not good in my life, to learn to let it go. But I had to go through that several years. I had to go through it for a long period of time, without really in the moment understanding that all of this was part of the process. And now, once I've been through it, I can look back and see that now I have value to give to someone who's going through that same exact situation. In the very moment, I don't really have the value to give, right? Because I'm in the same boat as them. But once I'm out of that boat and I'm simply someone who has learned from my experience and my failures and my mistakes, now I have that value to give to someone who's going through that in the very moment. But understand that everything will always make sense in the end. Always make sure that you're striving to make sure that what you're doing is the right thing. But if everything doesn't feel like it's in place yet, understand that it will make sense. It will make sense in the end. Everything that I've gone through, whether it's working a job, I understood why it happened to me, right? Now I understand that working jobs and hating it so bad, so much, hating waiting 2 weeks for a check, hating working for someone else and being told what to do all day. I understand now that was pushing me in the entrepreneurial direction, to let me know, listen, this is not for you. All those jobs, I worked plenty of jobs. I worked McDonald's, Firehouse, hotel, a restaurant, another restaurant, a bar. I've worked a lot of jobs. And I hated damn near every single one of them, because I don't like being told what to do. I don't like going into a place and putting on some clothes that I don't want to wear. See, if it's my own business and I pick the uniform, cool, that's totally fine, right? Because that's what I like. But going into a place strictly for the money and you're putting on a suit of something that you don't like, a type of uniform that you don't like, that is not your style, it almost feels like you're selling yourself out for money, right? And if you got to do what you got to do it. Listen, I completely understand. As an adult, you have to be responsible. It's not about what you feel like doing once you're an adult. When you're a kid, sure. When you're in high school, sure. But when you're an adult, sometimes you have to do that. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have to do it, if you have to pay the bills, if the bills are due and you have no other source of income, then you have to do what you have to do. That's understandable. It's commendable as well that you are someone who is going out there and making it happen. You have to put your pride to the side. Just know not to stay stuck in that level. Okay? Understand that there's always more to push for. There's always more to go and try to take from this world. So I understand now that all of that was pushing me in the right direction. I understand that, you know, being someone who was out of shape and then learning, okay, I need to get in shape. I want to do it for this reason, right? First, there was a certain motivator. Then after it changed to a different motivator, and then after a different motivator. And I understood why I needed to learn all this, because now I've helped people. I've helped people who, you know, have been out of shape. Give them the blueprint, tell them what it is that they need to do. And after years of not seeing any results, suddenly they started seeing results. Suddenly they started to see their body change. Suddenly everything started to fall into place because they had the right blueprint. Had it not been for me being out of shape and seeking the information and trying to learn it, I wouldn't be able to give that to someone else. So it makes sense in the end. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going through something right now, and maybe you're just going through a breakup, understand that breakup is meant to make you stronger. Understand, if you take the right route and you don't sit there and cry about it, listen, I understand it's going to hurt. But this is happening for a reason. This is happening to build your character and strengthen you. If you went through a bad breakup, now, the reason why this is happening to you is to test you, to build your character as far as how you conduct yourself. So if you went through a breakup and you get up every single day and you say, listen, I'm the motherfucking man. Nothing's going to stop me. Not a breakup, not this, not that. Nothing's going to stop me. So I'm going to keep on going. And listen, it hurts. Whatever the case may be, it might hurt. But I'm going to still keep going. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. That's strengthening your character. When you take those actions, it solidifies who you are. It makes your identity of yourself so much more strong, because you can actually look back and say, I remember when I went through that and I handled myself this way, right? That's why in the good times, you don't really build much character. Because it's easy to, it's like you're going to look back and say, wow, I can't believe when everything was going right, I carried myself with my head held high. It's like, yeah, I mean, everyone does, right? It's when you go through something difficult and you look back, and most people go through it crying, complaining, whining about it. And you look back and you say, wow, everyone in that situation would have broken, but I kept my head held high. So whether it's going through drugs, whether it's you're going broke, whether it's you lost your job, whatever it is, understand that it's happening for a reason. And the way that you conduct yourself through that experience is what's going to build your character and your self-identity for you to look back and remember how you pulled it off. All right. That's the video for today, guys. Like the video, leave a comment down below. I really appreciate it, guys, and subscribe. Peace out.